The Athene Real Talk Podcast explores controversial ideas to stimulate debate and active thinking. These ideas do not always reflect Athene's personal views. Welcome to the Athene Real Talk Podcast.
He has been called the best gamer in the world, hands down.
World-famous gamer and philanthropist Athene.
Gaming for Good, it's called, has raised more than $20 million.
Using his notoriety to raise money for charity.
On activism, science, culture, and self-development.
Proud to have him in the studio today. I would not want to take you on in a video game.
It's a bit unclear what Singularity Group is. The environment introduction video is unavailable. Zimolol. It's because I put all my videos private because I was one strike away of getting banned. And I will put them public again in October. I can tell you though, the place here, what people do is, when you come over here, the only thing you're going to do is your best. And doing your best has nothing to do with fulfilling a standard that is imposed on you. Doing your best is defined by your own pacing. Of course, making excuses and lying to yourself doesn't work in this environment. So if you come over here, you just do your best. And what happens is you are put in a state of flow. What is a state of flow? So you're doing constantly things in a very task positive way. It's basically you're not so much caught up in thoughts and such because you're working or doing stuff that is productive all the time. And that yields a much more fulfilling life than just being concerned about all stuff and problems that don't even exist in the first place. So coming over here is the goal to help out the world, but also help out yourself. You're part of a community where people really care about making a difference and go about it in the most scientific way possible. The scientific way of going about things is very easy. You take action, you measure, and you see what are the consequences of these actions. You learn and you improve. It's very simple. And basically, people that come over here tend to first get some practical tasks, but very quickly go into cognitive tasks where you learn coding, Unity, web dev, Solidity for blockchain technology, machine learning. You basically learn very quick how to code. And the way you learn is not by just learning, you learn by doing. So you get projects and you work on them, doing your best, and that's it. There is no judgment in this place. Nobody has expectations. Nobody looks over your shoulders. There's actually no gossiping in this place either. People just do what they can do and that's it. And it works very well. Food, shelter, everything is provided, like toothbrush, everything, hygiene, everything's provided except healthcare. You have to provide for your own healthcare. Although in the future, we might find ways to provide for that too. It's a crazy opportunity. Like people that come over here have gotten jobs even from Google. I'm not even making this shit up. Have also gotten job offers from companies because you get quite a CV when you make websites like Gaming for Good or the Decentralized Exchange and such. Like these projects are made by people that literally not even half a year ago had absolutely no clue about coding whatsoever. Yeah, you don't have to pay university or anything. You just learn and you just build a track record which is much more attractive towards companies than just a degree. There is even an ability to even have stakes in this place if you feel like, and that's what most people have here, have quite some stakes in this place. You don't get paid, but everything is free and you learn a lot. So it is really a very big opportunity, although we only accept people that really want to have an impact in the world and will really do their best, are really serious about it. And what we have come to learn, based on statistics, is that when you don't do so much in your life, when it comes down to doing what is right, it is very unlikely you will suddenly come here and suddenly rise like a phoenix, boom, you changed. No, like a lot of the times, real talk and certain inconsistencies that you observe in your life, you already tackle them. And as a result, you grow towards wanting to be part of this place because you want to find like-minded people. And I will give you guys a good example. We eat plant-based diet, right? And the reason why we eat plant-based diet is because eating meat doesn't make sense at all. It's very easy to change the habit. It's more healthy, it's better for the environment, and it also doesn't cause suffering to animals. And it's actually quite easy nowadays with society more and more having vegan restaurants or whatever. The act of eating meat and not caring about that, or not even reflecting on the consequences of doing so, it is fine to do that. But it's very incompatible with our more responsible lifestyle. And that's why from everybody that has came over, we had around 100 people, or if not more, meat eaters that came over. They all left. I mean, just say statistics speak for themselves, but sometimes people, when they apply, they don't understand that this is not just an easy, comfy getaway card from your own misery and your own harsh situation where you're most of the time responsible for the problems you experience. But this is rather an extension of someone that is already trying to do good in the way they can, or don't really know how to do it and really want to put the effort in doing so. And then this place is really amazing because you're really around people that don't bullshit around. There is no ego or whatever. It's a very serene environment where you learn a lot and where you can make a huge impact. There's only 3 spots left so far, and they will be filled. I don't really actively promote it because the game is coming out soon, before the end of the year. And I know once the game comes out and we actually have quite some real projects running, that a lot more competent people will apply and we will have the place filled in no time. So I don't really have so much of an agenda to convince you guys to apply because, you will probably cost more resources than bring things on the table before the game comes out anyway. Although I do think everyone is equal and I owe you guys to give you guys this opportunity or let you guys know about this opportunity, because I know some people can have a huge impact in the world, and that's what I would want for myself if I was you. So that's why I bring these things up. What we're planning to do more long term after the game, because we already have a decentralized exchange, Gaming for Good, raising money for charity. We raised more than 23 million for charity. What we're planning to do is work on implementing universal basic income, which is basically a minimum income that would be a human right, that would provide for education, healthcare, shelter. So basically the minimum requirements to survive and live. And we would first enroll that in poor developing countries. And we will use crypto, the blockchain, to achieve that. And we already have a not-for-profit organization called Giving Works that is actually one of the first legal entities that allow us to distribute crypto on the field for people in need. We still have to fix a few practicalities, but the organization is already registered, and that's basically more like our longer-term project to really establish universal basic income for everyone on the planet, which takes away scarcity, but also brings about a counter to all the automation and more how machines take over from people. We need a basic income for humans to take care of themselves, because there's going to be less and less jobs. It's something that a lot of high-tech CEOs are warning us for. So that is something that we're also going to be working on. And what we're also planning to work on is but of course we haven't thought about that so much, but probably just working towards singularity as well. And for the people that don't know what singularity is just the exponential, which we are in the middle of. I could almost argue if we're already not in the singularity, but it's the exponential increase of technology. And I think the point where we will merge with technology fully. Right now, we are already quite connected with technology, but we haven't fully merged. But within the next few decades, we will actually merge with technology, something that people are not always aware of. But technology is evolving at a rapid pace, and we tend to just look at the future from our own cultural compass. But if you go 20 years ago and you look at the world today, it's almost surreal what is possible and was hard to predict. And I can tell you that in the next few decades, technology will grow even more rapidly. And the world we live in today will be incomparable, and a lot of nanotech and neuroscience and chips and stuff, we will have a better understanding of consciousness and even anti-aging and stuff. A lot of stuff will really be greatly changing our paradigm of reality. So being on the forefront of technology and innovation is also something we'd like to do. Right now we're 40 people and we're already quite a powerhouse. We operate on 12,000 euros a month, and people here could be engineers for tech companies getting a salary of $10,000 to $20,000 a month, one guy. You might say, like, Athene, you're crazy. You can look. If you're really good at server tech and you're a really good coder, you can around 10K, 10 to 20K is not undersold. People here are Solidity coders. They earn so much money. It's insane. And yet, what is very fascinating is that people go through life and just follow what their parents or friends or whatever say, while there is so many opportunities that can help you take shortcuts in life, which I've done myself. And that's why I'm so successful, because I don't just take the easy road where I just assume and don't think for myself. I'm saying, like, coming over in this environment is a very big opportunity to help the world, but also help yourself. And people will realize that more and more as we achieve things, because right now We made a decentralized exchange that is the most user-friendly exchange on the market, but also Game for Good, which was done by 2 people very early on. But now the game is really a beast on itself. That's it. If you guys have any questions, I can answer them. Your Unity dev, what kind of work are you doing? We're making our own mobile game, and if you have more patience, maybe I'll show a bit later. The reason why we make a mobile game is because mobile is really where the money is at, and that's also the future. Our game is basically just the top 150 apps in one app. It has gacha, it has match 3, it has Pokemon Go, it has slot machines, everything in it. And it also has full Twitch integration, which is also some of the strongest IP you can get because people love to collect their own streamers. And streamers can monetize, and it also has live streaming, Reddit, Tinder, Discord. All these features are all in that one game app. Yeah, like we also innovate quite a bit in how we go about the game. It has like offline play that syncs with the server, so you allow the player to play even when they have no connection. And since it works with seeds, you can't even cheat it or game it. It also has insta live streaming with low bandwidth and low processing requirements for streaming, because it basically sends the movements to our server, and our server recreates the game, sending it to Twitch, which allows you to literally stream on an iPhone 4S. What it also has is it has insta loading times, because we put a lot of effort in performance, and it also has like the game starts in less than half a second, because the introduction screen, which is a mini game and a slot machine that gives you loot within the game, is coded in native rather than in Unity. All these architecture mechanisms allows us to give a very nice experience. There's also just one world that works with Orleans technology and server technology, which is very, very advanced. And it's just overall, the game is extremely advanced. And I think potentially will be bigger than Fortnite. When I say bigger than Fortnite, I'm not saying in the collective awareness. I'm saying making more money. Can potentially make more money than Fortnite. Because mobile games make so much money. It's insane. Do you guys know, by the way, that most money goes to gambling in the US? More than gaming, more than watching movies. Gambling is by far what the most money goes to. People don't really truly understand, and mobile gaming is a lot tapping into this gambling addiction, this flow of dopamine, and we are mastering it in our game, literally mastering it. But I'm not gonna oversell it or whatever. We will just see what happens, you know. Were you given a sign or experienced synchronized events that inspired you to into this direction of Unity? Actually, that's a good question. What I used to do in the past was I was always focusing on what I believed was the most important thing I could do. And the most important thing I could do, even before figuring out what to do, is to find other people or inspire other people to have the same logical framework that wants to contribute. Because even if, for example, anti-aging or singularity research or whatever, no matter what branch you pick in life that you think is the most impactful, the best thing to do is to find other people to work together with. So instead of just you by yourself, you are more. So I've always been focusing heavily on inspiring people, creating a certain awareness or a mindset that allows us to have a bigger impact, as with more, you can do more than just by yourself. So I've been doing that for a long time, but I've always tried to reach out to more people, but it didn't always work so well. But since I've been doing more real talk, which I initially didn't do because I thought people would just tune off because they just care about games, I was actually proven wrong. It started with a charity event I did that had so much success, then did more and more real talk, and then actually people started applying. Quite some left, more than 250 people came over, and right now we're 40 people. Quite an amount of people left, but overall we managed to grow quite a bit. And I started realizing that what works even better than trying to inspire people through real talk or whatever is actually show proof of concept, showing that what we do provides more safety, more impact, more anything than whatever. And before I did that, I carried that with my own success in poker, with charity or whatever. But as I reached this bottleneck of people coming over that are already very familiar with Athene and trust me, I started scraping the bottom of the barrel, which then led me to start focusing more on results. And that's why I was thinking like, okay, which project will allow us to gain relevance, make money, and help people here learn skills that are very practical for the future. And I was brainstorming about it, thinking about it, and a mobile game in Unity that has full Twitch integration and such was what came out based on what already works on the App Store. So that's why we decided to go this direction, because it has the most surefire. can I join your cult? You can always apply. But the thing is though, we are also not a cult. We're an actual religion, official religion in Germany, because we wanted to be a charity, but we weren't allowed to be a charity because all the money goes directly to save the children. So we had to end up coming up with a different legal entity to justify what we're doing here. And basically people that are here right now are actual priests. As crazy as it may sound, if you would come over here, you would actually be a priest. And you would be following Neurospinozism, which is basically Spinozism, which is the god of Spinoza, which is what Einstein believed in. Is basically make God equal to nature and everything around us, the forces and everything. Neurospinozism is basically Spinozism with our scientific understanding of how the brain works, because Spinoza was not as attractive as other religions because it didn't glorify this or that, but with Neurospinozism we can just find ways to bypass these limitations that the brain has by understanding how to overcome them. We are literally a religion. There is even a Wikipedia showing all the religions in Germany, and we are part of it, Neurospinozism. And people follow the god of science. You come here, you work, it's like praying. Instead of praying in a church, you come here and you're productive. That's how you pray. You pray by measuring impact and doing something good in the world. Slavery, literally slavery. I don't know, man. You can say these things, but it's actually quite narrow-minded, because you know what I call slavery? You go into debt to go to the university to get a degree that by the time you get it is useless in society, and then you have to go work off your debt by working in the McDonald's, which then at one point gets replaced by robots, and then you just end up being poor in the lowest social class, literally scraping to survive. I think that is more slavery than coming over here, being provided food, shelter, everything, guidance, all for free. And by the time you end up even deciding to leave or whatever, you have jobs lined up for you. I don't think this is slavery. I think this is an opportunity, and if you wouldn't know better, you would actually have to pay me to go through this process. It's actually quite crazy. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't understand it. Most people that come over here were literally coming from playing video games in their basement all day with their mommy and papi taking care of them. And now they're actually, productive people learning skills and doing something in their life. You can say like, hey, Athene, this is slavery, people work there. No, man. You come here and you learn as you do things that have an actual impact in the world. It's not at all slavery. Nobody's taking away your freedom. You get to leave whenever you want. You get to visit your family whenever you want. This place has very little conflict. And whenever you also hear people talk here about this place, and even people that left this place, they're very positive because, yeah, it works.
Subscribe to youtube.com/AtheneWins. Watch the live stream at twitch.tv/AtheneLive and follow The Real Athene on Snapchat.